Meghan Markle here.
Today is April 17, 2026. It is 4:37 a.m. This is video number 4, I think. This one might be on APTS Sussex. I'm not sure. I wasn't gonna record anymore because I've been recording for a long time, but I don't have that much left, so I thought I'd just get them out of the way. So pretty much that's why I'm doing this video. This was the last video that I recorded. It's so beautiful. Let me play it for you. The sound. Okay, this is what happens when you connect with nature. The sound of nature is so peaceful and beautiful. All right, so this is the first tweet here. All right, had the privilege of collaborating with Harry and Meghan's team on a special cultural walk with the Curie Heritage Trust. It was lovely to meet them both and talk about family, culture, and connection. There's the picture here. That little boy is so cute. There he is here. I love Meghan was talking about a book that Archie and Lily likes to the little boy. Okay, a very sweet day, beautiful image, just fantastic, amazing. Next tweet. This video should not be too long because I've been recording quite some time. I need to start editing. I might finish them over the weekend. Okay, so there's a TikTok video here. Well said. There's the heart here, 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Please spare me your fake outrage over Harry and Meghan going on a privately funded trip to Australia as private citizens and your hysteria over what she wore to a homeless shelter and calling Prince Harry a bad father for going on the trip with Meghan and not staying home with the kids.
What the hell?
Disgraced former prince who's been accused of sharing confidential information stemming from his role as the UK trade envoy with Jeffrey Epstein and using public funds to visit Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, and who can forget his ex-wife, who actually used her title as Duchess to sell access to her husband, moved into his newly renovated home on the 20,000-acre Royal Sandringham estate, as one does, right? This is after the royal family paid off one of his victims, Virginia Giuffre. Andrew was the better father because he let his kids participate in his activities. And apparently the royal family is worried about Randy Andy's fragile state of mind after his fall from being a prince. Y'all are worried about Meghan selling some jam.
It's very backward. These people are very backward. Unbelievable. Speak up, people. Prince Harry and Princess Meghan do not engage in criminal activities, do not steal people's monies. They actually work. Plus, everyone went from their endeavors. It doesn't go into a duchy somewhere to the Catspur lifestyle of, there's that here, baggage for God. The haters are so used to all white corrupted male perverts. They don't see them anymore, and this suit the gutter press who champion their racism and misogyny online. Yes, I agree with you 100%. She tagged that person here, Cassandra. Why doesn't the media talk about Andrew, Mountbatten Windsor, and Fergie, who have been dropped like a hot potato by royal family? Pretty awesome that I love it, and I love her. Thank you. Thank you for calling out these hypocritical fools. All right, next tweet. I don't know. These people are backward. It's a group of people, corrupt people. They find a way to band together worldwide to just corruption. It's unbelievable. This is why I'd be like, not that I'm telling people to go do especially after Meghan have talked about the mental aspect of things, the depression and things like that. And I'm glad there is an expiration date for everybody. If you live naturally, you do what's right, and when God says it's time to go, it's gonna be time to go. So just let that be for nature to take course. But if you have to live forever and deal with these monsters, my God, LOLs. Not Channel 7 calling out the Daily Fail for lying and fabricating. All right, 35 seconds.
One wanted a snap only with Meghan.
Harry, what's happening?
What?
You stepped out.
Good question. He's a Suits fan. He's a Suits fan.
Somehow this fleeting, friendly encounter for a selfie was falsely turned by one media outlet into an awkward ambush that supposedly sparked chaos. In reality, Harry was warm and happy, enjoying our smiles, and he also gave some fashion feedback.
Good to see you smiling too, mate.
You're always smiling.
Good to see you. Oh, thank you, mate.
One wanted a snap only with...
This is what I like about Harry. The others would have been jealous and things like that. There's Harry step aside and said he's a Suits fan. Whether or not that's why, I don't know. The GIF. Good. Those filthy liars at the Daily Fail deserve to be slapped down frequently. Priceless. Shame on the fail. I honestly didn't expect Channel 7 to call them out after some nasty comments from Sunrise hosts about Meghan and Harry a couple of years ago. I stopped watching anything on 7. I now see that the network does have some good neutral journalists. For now, because they want to be liked. They want to be in Harry and Meghan's circle so they could get content. And then once they're gone and they go back to their typical way, it's sad. This is Martyn. I haven't come across his TikTok videos. People haven't shared. Huge shout out to Martyn for the support. Martyn is such a staunch advocate for Harry and Meghan, and I'm proud to call him a friend. To everyone following his recommendation, welcome. Let's keep championing truth. Follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Who is the okay, Sussex Plus? Okay, let's see what Martyn has to say.
Morning, friends. Casa Martini in the background. It's not fake. It's all real. Me big on the screen. I know that's scary. I know I've got a face for radio. I just wanted to jump on for a couple of minutes just to say two things, really. Firstly, a huge thank you to everyone that's commented or liked my videos or followed this channel. 40,000 followers is just off the scale. If you followed me for a while, you know that this was kind of a social experiment for me. And guess what? It's really, really worked. And I appreciate every single comment. I do try and see them all. I don't always do it, but you know where I'm coming from. Big love and all that stuff. Secondly, on the same theme, see what I did there? There's an account, I'll put the name up here. I'd really appreciate it if you followed this account. This is another creator, not in the UK. Definitely has a different creation style to me, to say the least. But in this crazy troubled world we live in, I think showing love to other people, if you can afford the follow, if you have the space to follow anybody new, I know I don't, please follow this creator. Big love. Have a brilliant Thursday. Thank you again. I mean it.
All right, so that's that. A shout out. There's all of that. Next tweet. I need to finish. I'm starting to get tired. Who knows when I'm gonna finish edit this. All right, next tweet. What the F? That dumb B, that's the B word from the Sun YouTube show, is actually underground following Harry and Meghan. She was at the hospital and she was also at the university for the mental health talk. Why did they give her access? Okay, she's good for him. Is that, I don't know who this person is. Is that her? Look at that eye here. This is why Harry is very surveillance around him. Why are they forcing themselves to be around the irrelevant ones? Cloud chasing and trying to make a few bucks. The B look guilty of stalking. These clowns are mental and hungry. She hasn't. She's just one of many jamming herself to see them. She got into the uni to cover their visit. There's no way that would have been allowed if she didn't have a press pass. to follow them. Everyone else had to stay outside. They probably didn't. She is a stalker. A lost sheep. Is she the stalker? No, she's the press. She got access because she's actually inside the uni with them. All right, let's go to the next tweet. So I don't know who she is, but the squad are pointing her out. Okay, I have 2 more and then I'm done. All right, let's pause that. Hands up if you haven't slept since Tuesday. Seeing so many of you on here at a wild hours across different time zones. Usually it's us doing the graveyard shift. People from different part of the world. So there's me here 20 hours ago. It's every engagement in Victus, Netherlands, and Victus, Germany, and Victus, California, Canada, Nigeria, Colombia. Now this, who has time for sleep? I have eternity for sleeping. Don't even start with the sleep. It's been 2 hours a night because I don't want to miss anything. There's the laugh here. All right, let's move on. Usually after I finish record, whatever time that I have, if I'm not doing other things, I'm just editing. All right, so there's this here. Oh dear, what, who? Princess Kate is fuming Meghan Markle's $3,000 ahead Sydney retreat to proceeding after an attendee was found to have promoted false claim that Kate faked her cancer diagnosis. A source says Kate will have appreciated the gesture of the event being cancelled or at least guests being banned. I don't know. Whatever. Kate is fuming, so I am. That threw a tantrum over bridesmaid dresses, led a lie that Meghan made her cry, made racist remarks about Archie, took a selfie with, was it POS gummy, invite most horrid haters who troll Meghan for 10 years, threaten, what is that, MAL, pals with Kanoff, cry me a river, boo-hoo-hoo. Alright, so there's all of that. I don't know. I guess I'm starting to get tired. This is my last one. Jobson. Is that the thread? If it's the thread, I'll make a reference to the video that I did. Is that the thread? Let's see here. Yep, that's the thread. I shared this thread on a video. I made it a video by itself. Okay, maybe I'll listen to this. Okay. OMG, Jabba's having population about Harry and Meghan's Australia, and BBC 5 Live commentator Rachel Burden doesn't agree that will take away their title, and the reason why Royal Rats doesn't like them because they're more relatable to younger people. All right, so all of this, I already have it in a video by itself on APTS Sussex. Maybe I'll put this video on APTS Sussex. So go check it out. And I've edited, I made reference to certain things, but when Meghan said she does the Oprah interview about privacy and all of that, go check it out. This one I didn't listen, so let's listen to that one. Pause. And that'll be it for this video. Okay, after a furor on Harry and Meghan Australia security issues, there are none. They're paying for themselves. Okay, 2 minutes and 37, and then that's it.
But there's been a bit of controversy over in Australia. Let's not forget this. Are Aussie taxpayers footing security costs for Harry and Meghan's private trip? And can you tell us more about the security row really dominating those headlines down under?
You're absolutely right. There has been a lot of chat about who is actually funding the bill for this trip. So we have to reiterate that Harry and Meghan are private citizens, even though they are the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. This isn't a royal tour, it's privately funded. So they are funding this themselves, whether that's, you know, whatever they're wearing, how they've traveled, everything is funded by them. Now, when it comes to taxpayers, I think where the uproar has come from is that there will be additional security that will be provided by a couple of the police forces in the area. And of course, if you have a police force that's providing security or extra security, then that will be funded by the taxpayer. But this is something that the police force in those areas would have done anyway. Because if you have a high-profile person who's going to be going to a hospital, is going to be moving around, they would make sure that there would be extra police in that place. That is what you pay for as a taxpayer. So I think it's kind of convoluted and kind of a bit of, I think people want to have a problem when it comes to Harry and Meghan, right? And
Very
so this
sad.
is where this row has come from. You have this petition that's been started. Apparently 45,000 people have signed that petition asking that taxpayers not pay for this trip. And I think, you know, the taxpayers shouldn't be paying for this trip, and rightly so. Harry and Meghan are funding it themselves. And of course, the police, where they feel necessary, will provide extra security. Now, I think this also sort of reignites the conversation around Prince Harry's security and why people, you know, kind of really have zoned in and focused on that particular issue. You know, he wanted here in the UK his security to be provided by RABEC, not on a case-by-case basis, on a more permanent basis, something which is still being decided. And I think a lot of people are kind of seeing that as sort of mirror with what's happening in Australia, with the police force, quite rightly, doing their job and providing extra security where it will be needed. And let's remember that's not just for Harry and Meghan, that's for the general public as well.
Very well said. And also, in one of the videos that I did already, where this guy was talking about the security aspect, where Harry and Meghan were, let me see if I could find it, because it fits perfectly here. And by the way, I'm done with this. All right, I've shared this in a video already. So there it is here. This man is a gem. Aussie reporter on the ground, basically. Y'all are being gaslit and riled up about taxpayer funding Harry and Meghan's trip, when the truth is that there have been 0 police present and 0 motorcade on any of their engagements. So let's listen to this and then I'll go to the next one. I add something else on the list. Let's listen. Screenshot in between.
Harry and Meghan are here being spoken with by some representatives from the Career Heritage Trust. And this is not a public event. This was not an advertised event, but we are near, we'll just swing around quickly, near the Yarra River here. In the distance there, something that I have seen only today for the first time in the 3 days that they've been in Melbourne, and that is police. Before Harry and Meghan arrived, there was a lot of discussion about, well, who's going to pay for the police escorts and the motorcades, and who's going to look at, you know, will that be the taxpayer? There have been no motorcades, there have been no police, they've been travelling in 2 Range Rovers, but this is the first time I've seen them, and I would suspect that they maybe were in the area, and this is probably the most, though, exposed that they have been during their 3 days here. Everything else has been pretty much indoors and by invitation only. Harry and Meghan are here.
So there's the response to that people in the UK who's crying. And then there's another thing I saw regarding security, which I've shared already because of that video. I just showed you that people in the UK is whining about. There's this one here. This comment needs to be posted regarding Harry and Meghan security in Australia. So let's read it again. Okay, I'm Australian. Taxpayers are not funding their security. It is a play on words by sneaky media. I work in dignitary protection, as it called. Here's how it goes. Some facts for all the haters. We have existing dignitary protection police teams who are already allocated to various visitors for the protection of both the visitor and the public. It's not extra funding or extra police. It's a BAU for this DIGPO, dignitary protection. Okay, that's what it is. Dignitary protection unit, and with an already allocated resources. This week, they may be allocated to Harry and Meghan. Next week, it may be Taylor Swift, for example, etc., etc. The many reasons Australian states and the federal government do this: 1, foreign security, whether public or private, are not allowed to carry weapons on Australian soil. Not even the Secret Service of the almighty USA are allowed, as we have very strict gun laws, and hey, look at that. Very little gun violence. 2, reputationally, it would be terrible for Australians if something were to happen to high-profile figures on our soil. High-profile people attract crazies, so our police are there to protect the public as much as Harry and Meghan. 4, they may not be working royals, but Harry is still 5th in line to the throne of our country. The King of the UK is still the head of state in Australia. And lastly, the dignitary protection unit have access to intelligence on threats that no private security could have. Threats that could not only harm Harry and Meghan, but also harm our own citizens as collateral damage. Therefore, they need to be assisting in the security as they have this awareness. Okay, I thought I put this again. Okay, this is the second time I'm putting this. All right, so I'm done. Next tweet, and this is it. This is it for this video. All right. This, I took a screenshot, put it on my community board. This has to do with the USA. A retired lawyer in the USA, in the US, was watching the news when he saw the story about the new Trump commemorative coin, and something immediately didn't sit right with him. So he did what lawyers do. He went digging, and he found it. A federal law passed in 1866 that explicitly prohibits living people from appearing on U.S. currency. It's not a gray area. It's not open to interpretation. It's been sitting in the books for over 150 years. The last time this actually happened was 1926, when a coin featuring Calvin Coolidge was minted while he was still alive and serving as president. The backlash was immediate. The coin were pulled and the law was reaffirmed. Now this retired lawyer has filed a federal lawsuit against the U.S. Mint, not because of who is on the coin, but because the law said it simply cannot be done. Full stop. No political agenda, no protest, just one guy. A dusty legal started in a federal case that nobody in Washington apparently saw coming. All right. The only reason I'm showing this, everybody have a part to play on what's going on around us. We each have a specialty. It may be big, it may be small, but if you stand for what is right, you contribute. That's it. That's the only reason I'm doing this. I'm sharing this. Okay? This retired guy saw something, and he has the background and the schooling, the education to put a stop to it. Okay? Meanwhile, everybody was complying to the nonsense that this guy is trying to do. Okay? So that's that. Okay? Please take a moment. I think I'm going to put this on APTS Sussex. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, I'm done. It is 5:02 a.m. I think I've been recording for like 2 hours. Go on PYTE. There are several other videos that I recorded tonight. I don't know when I'm going to finish them, but I record them tonight. Thanks for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness, and please come back.